Have you ever felt that something inside you is different, but can't explain exactly what it is? As if your perception of reality were expanding, but at the same time the world around it began to seem strange? Maybe your days are going too fast, or too slow. You may have noticed unexpected connections, meetings that seem guided by fate. Or even a constant feeling that a big change is about to happen. If any of these things have resonated with you, it is because you may be experiencing a spiritual awakening, and your body is already sending you signals from it. But beware, this process can be confused at first. Changes are not just emotional or mental, they directly affect your body, your energy, and even your relationship with time. Some people report sudden chills, others feel stronger than ever. Some begin to perceive synchronicities, such as repeated numbers or meetings that seem planned by the universe itself. The question is, do you know how to interpret these signs? Ignoring these changes can generate confusion, fatigue, and even the feeling of being out of tune with the world. But understanding what is happening transforms everything. What once seemed random begins to make sense, and what seemed uncomfortable becomes a growth opportunity. And believe me, if you're going through it, it's because your vibrational frequency is rising, preparing you for something much bigger. So how do you know if you are really experiencing a spiritual awakening? It turns on the signs, and especially what they want to tell you. There are times when the body seems to capture something invisible, a kind of silent sign of the universe. Suddenly, chills arise for no reason, a shiver that runs through the spine as if someone had just whispered a secret to the ear. The surrounding energy seems denser or lighter, the environments carry different vibrations, and even the mood itself oscillates without logical explanation. These are symptoms of awakening, minor evidence that something within you is changing. What was once unnoticed now becomes evident, its vibrational frequency is changing. People who experience this change often report sensations such as tingling, sudden heat waves, or a kind of shoulder weight without apparent cause. This is because the body responds to subtle energies around. Have you ever entered an environment and felt immediate discomfort, as if something there was wrong? Or, on the contrary, was it close to someone whose presence was so light and welcoming that it seemed to recharge their strength? These signs show how energy exchanges influence our internal state. Vibration elevation can also be accompanied by changes in physical and emotional perception. One day you feel more connected, inspired, and even creative. In the other, he feels exhaustion for no apparent reason. This is because the body needs to adjust to the new energy. A good way to balance this process is through conscious food, contact with nature, and practices such as meditation or energy baths with herbs such as rosemary and lavender. Small changes in routine help to soften these symptoms and stabilize the expansion of consciousness. And then comes that strange feeling that something no longer fits. Places, people, conversations that once made sense begin to look misaligned. As if, suddenly, its frequency no longer matched what was familiar. This change is not just a passing phase, but a reflection of its inner growth, a call to look beyond what was always considered normal. Suddenly, what once seemed essential begins to lose its shine. Conversations that once flowed now sound empty, as if they were at a different frequency than yours. Longtime friends no longer share the same ideas, and some places seem to carry an energy that no longer suits yours. This feeling of alienation does not mean that something is wrong, but that its inner transformation is underway. You are becoming more sensitive to the surrounding energies and realizing that certain connections no longer resonate with your new vibration. This removal can cause confusion and even a certain emotional emptiness. Why did the things that once brought pleasure now seem meaningless? Why have certain environments become uncomfortable? This is a sign that its vibrational frequency is changing, adjusting to a higher level. Imagine as a clothes that once served perfectly and suddenly starts tightening, not because she shrunk, but because you grew up. Similarly, Old relationships and habits can become limiting when their expansion of consciousness accelerates. If you find in the middle of this process it can be challenging, but there are ways to make this transition lighter. Seeking new experiences, meeting people who share this journey and allow themselves to explore new interests helps fill this space left by what no longer makes sense. How about experiencing something different, such as a group of spirituality study, a self-awareness course, or even a trip to a place that has always caught your attention? Life is constantly renewing itself, and the secret is to allow this renewal to happen within you. And then something even more intriguing comes: the perception of time begins to change. Days that pass too fast, moments that seem to drag themselves, the strange feeling that time no longer follows the same rules. But this is just the beginning of adaptation to this new reality. Have you ever looked at the clock thinking it has just spent a few minutes, but actually hours? Or the opposite, did you feel you lived a whole day, but when you checked, only a few minutes passed? This change in the perception of time is one of the clear signs of a spiritual awakening. The time, which once seemed linear, begins to behave differently, as if adjusting to its new vibrational frequency. This is because your mind is expanding, and your connection to the present becoming deeper. This sensation can be both fascinating and disconcerting. Some people report that certain events seem to unfold faster, while others seem to drag themselves forever. It is also common to feel that the days are shorter or that whole weeks have passed like a blink of an eye. This is because, by connecting with subtle energies, the mind begins to operate beyond the limitations of chronological time, adjusting to a more intuitive rhythm and aligned with the natural flow of the universe. To deal with this new perception, it is essential to develop a more flexible routine. Instead of rigidly attaching to times and deadlines, try working with time-based and presence-based blocks. Techniques such as meditation help to realign this sensation, while intuitive writing practices can help in organizing thoughts. Keeping a diary by noting moments when time seems to behave strangely, it can help identify standards and better understand this change. And with this new relationship with time, something curious happens. Unexpected people begin to emerge in their lives. People who seem to carry important messages, connections that come out of nowhere, and meetings that look orchestrated by the destination itself. Have you ever been to know someone and immediately feel that that person came into your life for a special reason? As if, in any way, she had a message to deliver you, even without realizing it? This type of unexpected connection happens more often when the vibrational frequency rises. Suddenly, casual encounters seem to be meaningful, and even random conversations with strangers bring deep reflections. These moments are not coincidental, but part of the synchronicity of awakening. Interestingly, these connections come up when least expected. A comment on a social network, an exchange of eyes on the subway, or a cafe conversation can bring the missing piece for great understanding. Many report that during the process of expansion of consciousness, they begin to attract people with similar interests, as if an invisible magnet was guiding these interactions. These new connections often replace old relationships that no longer resonate with their energy. A good way to perceive these signs is to pay more attention to what you call your attention. Intuition often whispers before screaming, and small details may indicate that a meeting has a greater purpose. How about writing a striking coincidences and meetings of the day in a notebook? Maintaining a record can help you see patterns and better understand how the universe is communicating with you. After all, awakening does not only happen within the mind, it manifests itself in the outside world, through the experiences and the people who come on the way. And as intuition strengthens, the connection with these signs becomes even more evident. Suddenly, unexplainable sense and sensations begin to make sense. Instinct becomes more accurate, guiding decisions with surprising clarity. That inner voice that was once subtle now seems to speak louder. The answers come even before the questions, and the pretendant become impossible to ignore. This increase in intuition is one of the lightest signs of a spiritual awakening. Suddenly, logic is no longer the only compass, and there is a growing confidence in what you feel, even without concrete evidence. What once seemed just like a guess begins to be confirmed over and over, showing that this new sensitivity is no coincidence, but a refinement of perception. The more the vibrational frequency rises, the clearer this internal connection becomes. Small details are drawing attention, as if the universe was leaving clues along the way. It may be the sudden feeling that something needs to be done or avoided, a dream that brings a symbolic message, or even that strong certainty about a decision for no apparent reason. People who develop this ability learn to rely more on their own instinct, resulting in choices more aligned with their true purpose. To strengthen this intuition, it is essential to create moments of silence and introspection. Meditation, contact with nature, and even the habit of asking yourself questions and listening to the first answer that comes to mind are effective ways to improve this connection. Books like Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Agora can help understand how the mind interferes with intuition and how to silence it to access more authentic answers. Practicing this internal listening daily can transform the way you deal with challenges and opportunities. And as intuition strengthens, there is a restlessness. The feeling that something big is about to happen, even if you don't know exactly what. A mix of anxiety and excitement, as if reality were about to make an unexpected leap. There are times when life seems to be loaded with expectation, as if something was about to change radically. This silent premonition does not arise for no reason, she is a reflection of her expansion of consciousness. Its energy field is capturing subtle movements, signs that a great transformation approaches. It can be a new phase, a necessary breakup, an unexpected opportunity, or even a call to something larger. The point is that even without knowing exactly what is to come, the heart already feels that nothing will be as before. This sensation can be accompanied by restlessness and even some anxiety. After all, the mind likes control, and realizing that something moves behind the scenes of existence without a clear explanation can be uncomfortable. But that's exactly where confidence comes into the process. Often this energy change manifests itself through vivid dreams, sudden insights, or even an uncontrollable desire to change environment, routine, or social circle. The universe is preparing the terrain, and the secret is to observe the signs carefully. If this feeling is already part of your daily life, the best way to deal with it is to make room for the new. Practices such as creative visualization, writing of intent, and even conversations with people who have already undergone significant changes can help bring clarity. A powerful exercise is to ask yourself, if I already knew what is coming, how would I prepare? This helps to transform anxiety into conscious action, preparing the mind and spirit to receive what is coming. And maybe, without realizing it, you are already living this change. Small signs begin to appear, old patterns break, new opportunities arise. Your body feels, your mind perceives, and your soul already knows. After all, when vibration changes, reality changes together. Now that you know the signs of a spiritual awakening, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you ignore the changes and keep living in the automatic, or will you pay attention to the signs and use it to your advantage? Your body, your mind, and energy are already showing that something is happening, but you can decide whether to resist or flow with this transformation. What do you have felt lately? Have you noticed any of these signs in your life? Share your experience in the comments. Your story can help other people who are going through the same process and still don't know how to deal with it. And if you want to continue deepening this knowledge, be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Here, you will always find content that helps you better understand this process of expanding consciousness and navigating this journey with more clarity and confidence. We see each other in the next video.